Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, daily news report, what's going on in the United States, what's going on in Washington, D.C., money, investing, and what is going on in the $3.5 trillion stimulus check package that the U.S. House of Representatives is working on the bill right now and working on the largest stimulus package yet to date. Let's jump right in. We got a lot going on here in this new week and in the United States. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. New videos. If you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. Over 1 million people in Louisiana are without power this morning due to Hurricane Ida. You can see here on this video that people are trapped in chest level floodwaters in homes. Some waters are up to the roofs of homes in this Category 4 storm that had water. Wow, look at that footage. Gas pumps literally flooded. Yeah, Category 4 storm that had winds up to 150 miles an hour. Yeah, over 1 million people without power. Tens of thousands of people had to flee their homes. Yeah, millions of people. It's just, it's absolutely, this footage is absolutely crazy. I am speechless. People are expected to be homeless or not be able to go back to their homes for weeks or even months. Yeah. Let me know if you have friends or family in the wake of this storm. Let me know if you guys got out in time. Let me know how the conditions are if you are in the wake of this storm. And of course, this storm is still moving, and multiple different states, cities, and counties are in the path of this storm, as it will be going on for several more days and moving up the coast. So our thoughts and prayers are with everybody in the path of the storm. Our troops in Afghanistan are in the final hours as they prepare for the final day of Afghanistan. We're not expecting to do a extension of the withdrawal in Afghanistan. Tomorrow, August 31st, is expected to be the final day of withdrawal in Afghanistan. The U.S. has evacuated 1,200 more people from the Kabul airport as numbers dip ahead of the withdrawal. The U.S. has evacuated more than 116,000 people in just over 2 weeks, including Americans, Afghans, and actually some people from other nations here since August 14th. Yes. On Monday, as many as 5 rockets were intercepted by U.S. missile defenses near the Hamid Karazi International Airport in Kabul. So 5 rockets were actually intercepted today by missile defenses. As things are getting volatile here now within the last 48 hours of the withdrawal. So yeah, things are very hostile there. There is apparently less than 250 Americans left there as of reports based on yesterday. So there are very few Americans left. We will have to see if everybody gets withdrawn. There are reports that not every American wants to leave. Some people have homes there. Some people want to stay. President Biden has said at this point that they do not want to stay past August 31st. They have given notice to everybody to make it to the airport if they want to leave at this point. So we will have to see what happens. President Biden has said that there are imminent threats of attacks against the airport and American troops there. So to make your way to the airport if you want to leave, and that there are huge threats against the entire situation there and everybody there. So it is a very volatile situation here for this next 48 hours until basically everybody leaves. So I will keep you up to date, and just be aware that it's basically a war zone there. It's basically a war zone, and they're intercepting rockets. They're doing their own counterattacks. So basically anything could happen here within the next 48 hours. So I will keep you up to date. Business leaders and business groups aim to divide the Democrats on the $3.5 trillion spending bill, also known as the next stimulus package or the American Families Plan. Check this out. Business lobbyists are increasingly optimistic that they can water down tax hikes and other measures in the Democrats' $3.5 trillion spending plan opposed by corporate America. A big part of this next stimulus package, which is very different from all the past stimulus packages, the ones passed by former President Trump and the third stimulus check package passed by President Biden, all those past stimulus packages basically nobody paid for, because remember that the government already spends more money than they take in. They already run a national deficit. So all those past stimulus packages basically just went to the national deficit because the government already spends more money than they take in. So taxpayers really didn't pay for them because again, they already spend more money than they take in taxes. So they all just basically went to the national deficit. But these next two packages, the physical infrastructure package and the next stimulus package, the $3.5 trillion and the $1.2 trillion, are very, very different in terms of being paid for. And that is that the vast majority of both of these packages are actually going to be paid for instead of nobody paying for them. They're actually going to be paid for via tax hikes and creative financing. Okay, so for example, the $1.2 trillion stimulus package, or I'm sorry, the $1.2 trillion physical infrastructure package, the vast majority of that was paid for. Okay, they're doing several different creative financing things in there. For example, one of the things was that the unemployment monies, one of the things in there that, remember the Republican governors that opted out of unemployment, they're taking that unused money there and they're using that for the physical infrastructure plan. There's a couple different creative tax hikes in there for the physical infrastructure plan, as well as the $3.5 trillion package. They're working on crafting the bill right now, but we're starting to get a lot of the details here. Number one, they want to raise the corporate tax rate. Now, remember that in 2017, when Republicans had control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency under former President Donald Trump, they used the reconciliation card when they had control of everything. With the 2017 Trump tax cuts, they used the reconciliation card to pass the 2017 Trump tax cuts, and they lowered the corporate tax rate from 35% all the way down to 21%. Now, the Democrats, and this is kind of where political differences kind of kick in, the Democrats want to raise corporate tax rates from 21% to about 28%. Now, Joe Manchin is a little queasy about this. It makes his stomach go, oh, I'm not so sure about 28%. He wants to do more like 25%. So that's where the negotiation comes in. We're going to see where it ends up here. That's just one of the proposed tax hikes. Okay. They also want to raise taxes on wealthy Americans, or the top 1%, people that make over $400,000 a year, people that make over $1 million a year, and billionaires. Okay. There's going to be several different sets of tax hikes. Okay. They also want to do a minimum corporate tax rate that's different from the corporate tax rate. I know this might get a little bit confusing, but the problem is that corporations, even with a 21% tax rate, corporations like Amazon make $11 billion in profit, and corporations like Nike and like over 10% of the Fortune 500 last year paid $0 in federal income tax. Yeah. Because there's tax loopholes, there's write-offs. You could make $1 billion in profit, but you could write off $1 billion and end up paying $0 in taxes. So they're going to set some rules here that say if you make over, for example, $100 million, that you may have to pay a minimum tax. This is different than the corporate tax rate of, say, 15%. A minimum tax. Okay, they're also trying to close foreign tax loopholes. Of right now, you get foreign credits. So a lot of companies like Google and Apple, not necessarily Amazon, but all sorts of corporations, large corporations, have headquarters all across the world. pretty much almost all large corporations are multinational corporations. They do business all across the world. Well, the problem is that they find the countries that have the lowest tax rate, and they set up their headquarters in those countries, and they just pay lower taxes in those countries right now. It's one of the problems with our tax system. So they're trying to close those loopholes to help pay for this package. It's just one of the ways that they want to pay for this package. Well, nonetheless, corporate America and big business, they don't like this. They don't want to pay larger taxes. I get it. Nobody wants to pay larger taxes. Some people say that corporate America paying more taxes could make regular America, regular people, end up paying more money too. I can see that argument as well. But if nobody pays taxes, how does America function? I mean, somebody's got to pay taxes. Somebody's got to pay for anything. I mean, if nobody pays taxes, I mean, if Amazon makes $11 billion in profits and pays zero taxes, where does the tax money come from? That's the problem, right? You can see here, U.S. corporations broadly support the bipartisan bill, the physical infrastructure bill, that would create new spending on roads, bridges, broadband, and water without raising taxes on businesses. Of course. But they oppose the tax hikes that would pay for the $3.5 trillion stimulus package along party line proposal, meaning the Democrats are going to pass that by themselves, which would ramp up spending on childcare, education, climate change, among multiple things that we talk about. Industry lobbyists are confident they can chip away at the planned corporate tax increases and make significant changes to a Democratic proposal to overhaul international taxes on multinational corporations, arguing in both cases that such provisions would slow the U.S. recovery from the recession. Now, another thing to ask ourselves is, what would a fourth stimulus check, what would a $2,000 stimulus check cost taxpayers? Or what would it cost corporations? Or what would it cost to be included in this next stimulus package? With concerns over that's raging on right now, over 150,000 people testing positive on average per day right now, and the national debt. But remember that they're going to be raising all this money from corporations, wealthy individuals, people making over 400,000 a year, people making over $1 million a year, billionaires, closing tax loopholes. So remember that a $1,400 stimulus check, the one from the third stimulus check package, cost $400 billion. Okay. So, but remember that this next stimulus package is going to cost about $3.5 trillion. Okay. So, for example, $400 billion is just a little bit over 10% of the cost of what this next package is going to cost. $400 billion is a little bit over 10% of $3.5 trillion. But remember that in that last package, single filer head of households actually got checks making up to $112,500. $112,500. A lot of people, there's a lot of chatter right now saying that, do people really need a fourth stimulus check if you make up to $112,500? I'm not really going to advocate for either side here because I'm not going to put myself in anybody's shoes here. Okay. But I'm telling you what the chatter is on the street. Okay. A lot of people say that if you're making over $100,000 or if you're making near $100,000, that a lot of people need a fourth stimulus check, but that they could lower the income qualifications. Okay. It would be better than no fourth stimulus check at all. Okay. But I'm not going to put myself in anybody's shoes here because I know a lot of people are in need. A lot of people that maybe made $80,000 or $70,000 last year could really be hurting this year. Also, if you made $70,000 and live in New York City, you live in San Francisco, you live in a high cost of living area, that's peanuts. That's peanuts. If you live in Austin, Texas, that's peanuts. That's really not that much money that affords you like a studio apartment in some areas. So I'm not going to put myself in anybody's situation, but I am going to tell you what the chatter on the street is, what the talk around town is, and what what the discussion is. Okay. So they could do a $1,400 stimulus check for less than $200 billion by lowering the income threshold and not including a stimulus check for children. Because, and again, I'm not necessarily saying they should do this or shouldn't do this, but they could do a $1,400 stimulus check for less than $200 billion because children are most likely going to receive the child tax credits extended in this next package, and are going to receive $3,000 to $3,600 per year with the child tax credits. That's $250 to $300 per month. Okay, so that's a total of $3,000 to $3,600 per year per child. Okay, so children are already going to be taken care of. Okay, but adults, low income adults, people on Social Security, seniors are not necessarily, there's going to be other, I really need to stress that there's probably going to be a lot of other different things in this package. If you've been watching my recent videos, you kind of understand that. There's going to be all these other things in this next package. There's going to be Medicare expansion. There's going to be child tax credits, child care tax credits. Remember, the tax credits are basically just a check. There's going to be free college, possible homebuyer credits, possible mortgage assistance, utility assistance, possible internet assistance, debt forgiveness, paid family and medical leave, all these different things that could put money in your pocket, possible rent assistance, SNAP assistance, which was actually just passed on a permanent basis. All these additional things that could be in this package that could put money in your pocket, right? When you look at this list here, there's literally dozens of things here that are going to be in this package. Remember, this package is going to be the largest package ever. The largest package ever. Okay. But the chatter on the street is that they could put a fourth stimulus check in there. We're hoping that they put a fourth stimulus check in there, but they could lower the amount that it could cost and not include a stimulus check in there for children, because children are already expected to receive a child tax credit extension until 2025. Okay. So that is going to expect it to go multiple years of $3,000 to $3,600 per year, guys, for multiple years. Okay. So they could include a forced stimulus check in here if they're smart and provide a stimulus check here for seniors, for low income people, for people making $50,000 a year or up to $75,000 a year, and provide people a security check, a survival check, a fourth stimulus check, and help people get back on their feet right now. And they could do that up to $1,400 or $2,000, probably for below $200 billion. And that would be less than 10% of the cost of this package. In fact, that would be like less than 7% of the cost of this package. My mental math here, that wouldn't be quite 5%, but that would be like less than 7% of this cost of this package. So they're calling this an anti-poverty package. Now, I know that there's going to be probably child tax credits in this package. I get that. That's 65 million people. That's wonderful. But what about everybody else? I know there's also going to be an adult tax credit in this package. That's supposed to be for people making below $50,000. But we don't know how much it's going to be. We don't know how it's going to work. We don't know exactly how it's going to work. We're going to find out after they pass this package. And we also know that there's probably going to be multiple other different programs in there, or incentives in there, or stimulus provisions in there as well. But we want to hope that there's enough programs in there, or as many programs in there as possible. So that's why I recommend you guys email your senators, tweeting them, calling them, call your representatives. Just go on Google and like Google Senator Bernie Sanders phone number, Joe Manchin phone number, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer phone number, Nancy Pelosi phone number, AOC phone number, Elizabeth Warren phone number. Go on Twitter and tweet them. Twitter, you can just literally just send them a message by doing the @ and typing in their name or their Twitter name, and send them a message. Write them a message saying, make sure you include a forced stimulus check and these other provisions. Okay, that's what they did with the third stimulus check package. They included a third stimulus check of $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for children, $1,400 for adult dependents and college students, and they did the child tax credits, and they did rental assistance, and they did SNAP assistance, and they did the internet assistance where you got $50 off your internet bill and your cell phone bill. And they did all these other programs that I can't even think of at the top of my head, but they did a lot, right? And this next package is going to be twice the size of that package. So there's room in this package, but we have to hope and pray that they do this, right? So I have my fingers crossed. I hope you do too. But I will keep you up to date with everything going on in our country, what's going on with this hurricane. My thoughts and prayers are out to anybody in the wake of this storm. Same thing with Afghanistan and this next stimulus package and anything going on in our country. Make sure to subscribe down below. New videos. Thanks, guys, and we will see you in the next video. In the next video. In the next video.